And welcome back. We thank you for your feedback. It is actually showing on the bottom of your screen. Marcus Max, you say, what a last show to wrap up. I'll miss you, Jamila, and everyone else.
Everyone else.
Okay, Marcus. So, for the record, Marcus, my name is Yvonne. He's Linus.
Wow.
That's Francis. And that's
Thank
Joe.
you, Marcus.
And we are.
I mean, just so you know, and yeah. Otherwise known as others. Jamila will do the show by herself next year, by the way. So let's get into it. We want to finish. Never in the country's politics has the bedroom featured so prominently. So there are bedroom stories, there were handshake candidates. It seemed like there were two men in one bedroom. It just doesn't get any murkier than that. Linus.
Yes, you're talking of the language that came out of the Kibra by-election. I still find it difficult to call it Kibra.
I know, right?
Kibera is what it was. It used to be. But this was the language that emerged out of the what became a hotly contested race for the parliamentary seat that became vacant when Kenneth Okoth, a very good member of Parliament, may he rest in peace, passed on. But this is the base, or is considered the base of Raila Odinga, the ODM leader. And then we had the Deputy President, William Ruto, daring to take Jubilee into this battle zone and actually going for the seat, making a very, very strong point in terms of the contest that Jubilee, or the candidate of Jubilee, did put up. And so emerged the idea that this is Raila Odinga's bedroom and had to be defended by any means. But what Kibra also did was to be the first platform of contest between those for the handshake and those against the handshake. And it put President Uhuru Kenyatta in a very awkward place, because he had much later to keep stressing that he is a Jubilee leader and he had a candidate in the race, but he supported the outcome, because he said, and he repeated this very, very strongly, that he thought the best outcome of the Kibra by-election was the peace that was witnessed in the race. But all in all, Kibra was a dress rehearsal for 2022, if you'd like. And I think the Deputy President, William Ruto, took it that way, and taking the battle to Raila Odinga. I think he really considers Raila Odinga to be his opponent on the other side in 2022. And that's why he sees BBI as a side inconvenience.
But yeah, but you see, the bedroom stories also introduced another bedroom issue, that it is possible to allow other people to come to your bedroom, allow them to do their business politely, silently and peacefully, and people have no issues per se. I mean, who would have expected Jubilee to campaign in Kibra peacefully?
Did Jubilee campaign?
Yes, it did.
Kibra?
Yes, it did.
Did Jubilee as...
It wasn't Jubilee per se.
You see, yes, it did. I'm saying yes, it did, but you should also ask which side of Jubilee.
A section of Jubilee.
Yeah, which side. But my view of it is that it is good to tell the people of Kibra, well done. Why? Because they did not fight themselves. Actually, it was more about the leaders from the two sides who had an issue with each other, rather than the people of Kibra. And I hope it can be replicated in all the other bedrooms across the country, that allow people to come and sell their policies and views in your bedroom, and allow the people therein to make a decision on who they think is a better occupier of the bedroom.
For me, I think I was worried about that analogy, because I mean, it reminded me of those days when we used to have Kanu zones. You remember those zones where no one could
strongholds.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, it is great that the people of Kibra rose above all the sort of stereotypes that have always been lumped on them as, you know, violent and all of that. And they were able to do this peacefully, and even the president likes to give it as some kind of a proof that the handshake is working. But I think that it has to be said that that kind of designation of places as this or the other thing belonging to the other person can be very dangerous. If you think about it, if people take it to heart and they say, okay, this is bedroom. You know, bedroom sio mahali pa mchezo, bedroom inalindwa. So if so if people take it too literally, then there can be a problem in the, especially when we are going into this.
I agree, John. And that's where the problem comes in if people take it literally.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the history of our country, some of these words have always characterized the political language there. During KANU, there was KANU zones. And then during NAC, we had strongholds.
Strongholds, yeah.
We got to know about Tharaka Nithi, now stronghold becoming a nickname for Tharaka Nithi. And now Kibra, we have bedroom. And the other day, we saw in Kirinyaga, when there was a major event by the CS Interior, Fred Matiang'i, some comments that Kirinyaga pia ni bedroom ya somebody.
Yes.
So I think for Kenyans is to sometimes accept some of this banter. I don't like the moral connotations of it because then you talk in bedrooms, then you will have to talk about the paternity of the political candidates that we had, the likes of Mariga that came into the race in a very interesting way.
Right. Okay, and we need to finish this, but before we go to one of the final topics, there are two issues that I've seen Kenyans speak about a lot as they're retweeting and commenting on the show, feedback. There are two things. One, Cabinet approving today, renaming Moi Day to Huduma Day, and Boxing Day to Utamaduni Day. It seems to have irked, I hope that's the word, kukasirisha ama kughadhabisha watu wengi. And Gachuri, what do you think about that?
So BBI been implemented?
BBI imeanza implemented mapema hivi.
Because of course the recommendations in the BBI report are not necessarily going through a referendum or anything else. Some require administrative changes. Like for example, the cabinet approving that Boxing Day be Utamaduni Day and Moi Day be Huduma Day.
Yeah.
Okay, so what will we be doing on that Huduma Day? Kuhudumiana.
Which we should be doing every day.
It should be an everyday thing.
I mean, for
then
me...
Utamaduni, I mean, it should also be an everyday thing.
No, but it has to be said. I mean, to be fair, I mean, this thing of Huduma, for example, remember, it is the former president, Daniel Arap Moi, when he was leaving power, and I think he was wondering what to do with this day that we had celebrated over these years. Then he said, okay, this day is now, celebrate it quietly, be of service to someone else and everything. And I guess that I mean, the people who are in government right now are particularly friendly to the Moi legacy. I mean, some of them are products of it. So it's not surprising, in my view, that they would ride on that, considering that Huduma has been some kind of a trademark they have with Huduma centers, Huduma number, and all of those things. We are not discussing Huduma number.
But let me just say something about Utamaduni Day. I think it's the most ridiculous thing that the Kenyan cabinet sits and purports to change an established international day in the calendar as Boxing Day. It's Boxing Day in Kenya, Boxing Day in Uganda, Boxing Day in the UK, Boxing Day world over,
Day in Kenya.
In the cabinet room in Kenya. It's a ridiculous proposal. Why not get a date that actually resonates?
Exactly.
What are you trying to do? Because Christmas Day is Utamaduni Eve.
Thank you. And I was going to say, because I think when the president said that Boxing Day is a foreign concept, so is Christmas.
Yes, it is.
So is Christianity. So if we're going to throw everything out, throw out Christianity, throw out Christmas Day, throw out Boxing Day, for heaven's sake, do away with Easter. My problem is this:
on Boxing Day?
I relax. Thank you. Right? And that's what I should be allowed to do. But this is the one thing I want to talk about in terms of Utamaduni Day. It reminds me of when this country went on a long search for a national dress, which we established, and nobody, I mean, I would challenge any of our viewers who are watching this to just say, how many of them do that? The problem in this country is we attempt to institutionalize and to legalize some aspects about culture, about morality, that you simply cannot do. I mean, think about it this way, the biggest export of the US is what? The American dream. Where is that? It's a sense, it's a feeling. It may not always be true. but there's a sense in which Americans feel like they're the best people on the planet. The way to do that is to make sure Kenyans are happy. They will embrace their culture. They will do some of these things on their own. In any case, we don't need a day for utamaduni. We should have every day for utamaduni wa Kikenya.
And as usual, things are being forced down our throats without even asking us. Who told them we wanted an utamaduni day?
BBI did.
Yeah.
BBI did. The most elaborate collection of public views in the history of
Which is why they're going to collect more public views on the public views. But guys, listen, we really need to go.
But there's one thing, Yvonne, I'm sorry. King Kaka.
Yes.
Earlier this week, I was told it's not a song. It's a spoken word.
Yes.
Wajinga Nyinyi. When I heard it for the first time, I sat and I got a version that had actually the lyrics running across the screen. And I was listening and reading, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, oh, these are the things that we think about every day, or noises or upsets us, and we want to maybe not do something about them, but he's put it in a song. And immediately it trended all over. And then we had instances of, oh, DCI wameitana, oh, hawajaitana, oh, and all this and that, my life is in danger. It's not. But it did cause a lot of feedback, a lot of reactions from everybody, a lot of Kenyans saying these are the things that we've been talking about. I don't know, quickly, pengine should start with you, Wajinga Nyinyi?
Look, I won't dwell on the sideshows and the drama around the DCI. I mean, I would be more interested in the content of the spoken word, what King Kaka was saying. These are the things that many people are saying out there. I mean, people are not happy about corruption. People are not happy when their resources are being stolen. People are not happy when they can clearly tell the person who has taken away money belonging to us is so and so. Look at the opulence. Look at the things that he or she is doing. I mean, all these stories that we keep talking about, all these stories that we keep hearing about corruption, people have genuine issues. And this is a wake-up call that out there, people are not happy. And there may be all threats or litigation, so on and so, defamation and everything else, but does not take away the message that what King Kaka captured is exactly what is in the minds and hearts of very, very many people.
Joe,
and I think he did what a lot of people are not able to do in the way that he did. One, he captured obviously the mood in the country, the sentiment, the public sentiment that you hear everywhere about people basically fatigued by all these social ills, especially things like corruption and that sort of thing. But I think more importantly is that he used a platform that is very effective now in that sense, because you see, he did what even sometimes mainstream media is not able to do, just because of the fact that in mainstream media it's impossible for you to go out saying, you know, Gachuri is a thief, alifanya hivi na hivi, because they will sue you to the last penny, as somebody once said. So you will always find, you know, they will say, for example, a first-time MP from Central Kenya or something, even if it's something that you really know. Why? Because it's easy to find you.
A lady from politician from this region.
Yeah, because you're a big target. You don't need to throw a stone at a big target. You hit some part of it. And that's what usually happens. But when it comes to people who may not have the sort of institutional profile that mainstream media houses tend to have, it's a much more nimble space, and they do the things that they've done. And I think that's why it's been very effective, saying the things that many people have been wanting to say, and probably they don't even know how to say. And that should tell us that there's an angry group of people out there. Kenyans are not very happy.
Joe, you remember our discussion, I think a day or two ago, about Article 34 on the freedom of expression vis-a-vis
33,
your right to not to be defamed. You remember that discussion? And it's an interesting one.
Yeah, that you're free to express yourself and whatever, but they say that right does not extend to things like propaganda and whatever. Then it says, I think 33(2), if I'm not wrong.
Actually.
It's the one that now talks about the fact that whatever you do, you must respect the rights of others and their reputation.